All right, we are live.
Live.
Welcome back to another show, folks, of Movie Madness.
Yes.
So, today we got a really fun show.
Yes.
As you can see, the title of the video,
Mhm.
the Will Ferrell holiday movies.
Yes.
We're going to talk about two in particular. Which ones are we talking about?
Elf and his new movie Spirited.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic with Elf.
Yeah.
All right, now I haven't seen Spirited. He has seen it.
Yes.
It's the new Ryan Reynolds, Will Ferrell movie?
Yes.
Okay, well, we can talk about that, but we might as well jump into Elf.
Yeah.
Speaking of Elf, where's your hat? There it is. We are decked out in Christmas gear. I am wearing a sweater that says, "I find your lack of cheer disturbing." I wore this to work today because it's December 1st. Why the heck not?
Yep. Yes. Welcome to December.
Do they know it's Christmas time at all?
Okay, so let's start with Elf.
Yes.
Considered to be a holiday staple by many people.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm gonna as we talk about the movie, I'll fill you in on some like behind the scenes like trivia and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
So, first of all, I think the movie is great. It's a lot of fun.
mhm.
Believe it or not, I hadn't seen it until at least last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had never seen it. I had heard a lot of things about it, but at the time I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But once I was actually told, you're going to sit down on this couch, you're going to watch this movie until we're done, and you're going to tell me what you think, I said, you know what? All right. Gave it a chance, and I said, you know what? This is a fun movie. There's a ton of memes
Yeah.
and gifs with this movie. My favorite one being, "You sit on a throne of lies."
Yep, that's the most popular one.
It's even in people's cell phones or gifs. Like, you just type it in, Elf. It's one of the first few ones. So we might as well start with like the beginning of this movie where he is adopted by Santa.
Yes. And what's interesting about because Baby Buddy was played by actually 3 different babies, and they were all girls.
The more you know,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen. I did not know that, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get very deep into some movies where I'm just like, I'll just tune in and watch.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend watching the Elf episode of the movies that made us on Netflix, because that's where I got most of this information from.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and wasn't this movie done by Jon Favreau?
Yes.
Before Iron Man,
Yes,
right?
in one of his first movies that he directed.
And I think he cameos as the Doctor.
Yeah.
The director is actually the Doctor in the movie Elf.
Yeah.
And he's got such a classic line that says, "Congratulations, it's a boy." When he's talking about a full-grown man that thinks he's an elf.
Yeah.
But the movie is a ton of fun. And even, like, they threw in some stop-motion animation with the snowman and all the animals up north. I thought that was fantastic.
Yes. And one thing I want to... a couple things about that.
Mm-hmm. Please tell me they got the original voice of the snowman from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
No, that was Leon Redbone.
Dang it.
As the snowman. But one of the stop motion creatures was voiced by Ray Harryhausen.
Ooh!
Yes.
Who that?
A legend in the stop motion industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still like what did he do? Because I don't do a whole lot of movies because I'm running around like a chicken with his head cut off.
Yeah. Many people consider him like a like stop motion like pioneer. Because I believe he was like one of the like creators of stop motion, but I could be wrong.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, that helps me
Yeah.
because I'm like, I unfortunately I do not know everybody that's involved with these things, so it's I find it fun to learn some new things. So saying that, I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did he help design that stuff, or was he just voicing one of the animals?
I think he was just voicing.
Oh, hey, everybody needs a break, right?
Yeah. Also, the Norwal. Yeah. So Jon Favreau not only plays the Doctor in the movie, but he also voices the Narwhal.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
The whale goes, bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad.
Yeah.
The same guy?
Yes.
Holy smokes!
And okay. So one thing I'd like to mention about the whole like North Pole aspects is that one of Jon Favreau's main goals for this movie was to emulate the style of Rankin Bass. And he did that not only with the stop motion characters,
Yeah.
but also with some of the costumes too.
Yeah. Yeah, because it honestly looked like the costumes meshed well with the scenery, which I thought was really good.
Yeah. In fact, it was so much like Rankin Bass that the movie almost got sued.
Oh, man!
Yes.
When you do a little too well on the test, or should I say, when your friend lets you cheat off their homework, but it's a little bit too much like their work.
Yeah. So
That's still cool.
Yeah.
Now, Rankin Bass, was this the same ones that made the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit animated movies?
yes.
I thought so.
Yes.
I thought so.
Yes, as well as many of those stop motion Christmas classics.
Such as Rudolph.
Yeah. Rudolph.
Let's see, Rudolph.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah. And all those ones.
Mm-hmm. Well, we want to keep it short. I mean, we could
Yeah.
say more, but let's be honest here. We only got an hour to do this thing.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Excuse me. So, anyways, when Buddy finds out...
Yes.
Actually,
And,
well, speaking of the North Pole, you know Peter Billingsley.
yes, Ralphie.
Yeah, Ralphie.
Yeah, he's in the movie.
He's the foreman.
Yeah.
He's the foreman in the toy shop.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting? Well, no, I'll get to that later. But one other thing I want to mention about the way the North Pole was created was that a lot of it was done with forced perspective.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. So basically, you would have you'd have Will Ferrell sitting on like I believe it was like a fake pair of legs, and then like further back would be Bob Newhart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. When Buddy's upset that he's finding out, he's human. He's not an elf.
Yeah.
And that was who I was trying to remember. It was Bob Newhart. He's an actor that was Professor Proton.
Yeah.
Before Bill Nye, and also he plays himself as Professor Proton in Big Bang Theory.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. They even give him a send-off episode where it's his last episode. He appears as a Force ghost,
Yeah.
complete with lightsaber, and it's like, oh, that's cool.
Most people know him though from the Bob Newhart show.
Oh, the Bob Newhart show. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
When was that on? When was that show on?
70s, I think.
70s. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is something else.
Yeah. So
I think we've covered a lot of it. So once Buddy has found out about his dad, that is human, working at the Empire State Building in New York City, he goes on a journey. And I have to touch base on one of the funniest scenes. What I think is one of the funniest scenes ever. That is
The raccoon.
the big raccoon. Like this raccoon, you'd think it's out in the middle of the wilderness. It'd look a little slimmer. No, this guy looks like he was dropped in a dumpster behind a Chinese takeout joint. It was absolutely hysterical. I even saw Cinema Sins talking about it, and they call. Well, I'm not going to say it here, but it's. They basically said this raccoon looks like it has been living high up the hog behind the Chinese takeout joint in the dumpster, and I think they put up props, like raccoons where they're taxidermy like. Wah!
Yeah.
But I think Will Ferrell took like a raccoon tail and just started waving it because his character is very much like he's naive and he plays it up really well. It's like somebody needs a hug. Raccoon jumps, boom, wah!
Yeah. I think we should also probably give our respects to Ed Asner and James Caan.
Yes.
Who unfortunately did pass away.
Yeah. It was at least a year or two ago, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Right? Which I know James Caan actually from another movie called The Godfather.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Sonny on the Toll Booth.
Yeah. And this was James Caan's like first like family movie.
Really?
They weren't even sure if he was gonna take the role.
Wow.
Yeah. And when he did eventually, like, because he'd been mostly known for like doing like serious movies, up until this point.
Mm-hmm.
So
he wanted to take this role to show his chops, because that's the thing about actors, is that sometimes they end up typecast. Yeah. Typecast is a word where you are an actor or an actress and you play one specific role.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when people think of you, they think of this role, and that's the one role that you do. That's the only role you do, and it's the only one you're good at. I learned that from a film class, and there are a lot of actors that try to avoid that. A good example, you could say Daisy Ridley. She is known as being Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, puppy. She's known as Ray, but she has also taken other roles in dramas. One of them being Murder on the Orient Express. Excuse me. It was her first movie outside of Star Wars, and she was able to talk with the director who played Hercule Poirot, Kenneth Branagh. I couldn't remember the name for a second. And because she's only known for being in Star Wars, that's the one thing everybody talked about with her. So, but she's tried to branch out and do that. And the one of the things that she has agreed to do is to not do Star Wars again.
Yeah.
Well, she has said she didn't agree to it. She said she doesn't want to do it anymore.
Now there's reports of her possibly returning.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
But anyways, we're focusing on Elf.
Yes.
I just wanted to say, typecasting for James Caan.
Yeah. We'll probably have another discussion on like creativity in Hollywood and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think that would be a good topic.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But we got to talk about the Will Ferrell holiday movies.
Yes.
Because it's the Christmas season, Christmas time, and
yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay, so
now that when Buddy gets, one of the things we got to talk about, when he gets to New York.
Yes.
They had him dressed up in the elf costume, didn't they?
Yeah, and that remember like that scene where like he's walking like through the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
They called that the Tootsie Shot.
The Tootsie Shot.
Yes. Did you ever see the movie Tootsie?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Is it an old movie?
Yeah, it's a movie with Dustin Hoffman where I guess he like dresses up in drag or something. But there's a very famous shot in that movie where he's walking, just walking down the street in like women's clothing and surrounded by a whole bunch of people.
And everyone is like a plain color sort of thing, and he's the only one that's like very much colorful and flamboyant.
Yeah, let me show you.
Okay. My phone fell down, folks. This is the thing that I've learned. Keep my phone on hand. Tootsie Shot. Okay. The very first thing that pops up on our search
Yeah.
is Tootsie Roll Shot.
Yeah, so this is the scene.
Oh,
And they emulate that in Elf.
okay. It's where everybody's out and about and going to places.
Yeah.
And he's the one that stands out the most. Now, which one is he? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's in
him.
the middle. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, where it's so based upon this image, the shot is everybody else looks a little blurry. The character that we're supposed to pay attention to in this case, Buddy, is the only one that's in focus.
Yes. Yeah. And
What about the time when he ran up to that guy who looked like Santa?
that was unscripted.
I know, that's the one I wanted to get to.
Yes. Yeah. They actually
They followed the guy, didn't they?
yeah.
Oh god. Oh
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, that whole scene where he's just running around in New York, all of that was unscripted.
That was fantastic. That was great.
Yeah.
And there was also the time where he was eating gum.
Yes.
Oh my god.
God.
And Santa told him, "Don't eat the gum." He was even telling him which one. There was an Angelo's Pizza or something like that.
It's something.
It's the original pizza joint where Santa apparently went to. He said, "That's the original." They all claim to be the original. The one on this street at this intersection is the original.
Yeah, but the real one's on 11th.
Yes, that one. Which, how the heck is Buddy supposed to know where 11th is? It's like they threw that in there. But still, it's a nice little touch where it's like, listen, we want to make this movie connect a bit to real life and this make-believe place.
Yeah.
Which I would say, yeah, good on you.
Okay.
Oh.
So, he goes to the Empire State Building.
Yeah. Gives a singing telegram for his dad. Gets kicked out because dad doesn't believe him.
I believe that one of the security guards was played by Will Ferrell's brother.
Was it the tall one or the short one?
I think it was the tall one.
I had to think it was the tall one. They kind of looked alike.
Yeah.
And speaking of people that looked alike, do you know the Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer and Will Ferrell are practically twins?
Really?
Yeah, they look alike. Hold on. While we're pulling up stuff on our phones, let me pull up Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I know he's got a name, but for the life of me, I can't remember. All right. Chad Smith, that's the drummer's name.
Oh.
Whatever it feels like. Look.
Wow.
See? This thing was a joke, ladies and gentlemen. Look at how much they look alike. Look at this. They're like twins. So much so that even Will Ferrell dressed up exactly like Chad Smith. And they had a drum off, and it turns out Will Ferrell's actually pretty dang good on the drums.
Yeah.
But then when we'll get back to the movie.
Yeah.
Buddy gets kicked out of the Empire State Building. He goes to, what was it called? I want to say Higbee's, but that's Christmas Story. Gumbles?
What was it?
I think it's a toy.
It was originally supposed to be a Macy's, but I don't know, something happened.
Where they couldn't get the copyright sort of thing.
Yeah. I forgot the name of it.
I think it's Gumbles. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Gimbals,
that's it.
Yes.
I was off by a vowel.
Yeah. Okay, so he goes to Gimbals. And something to note about the manager of Gimbals.
Yeah.
Is that there is a reason why his name tag says Wanda on it.
Oh God, I gotta know.
Yes.
I gotta know. Tell it.
Okay. So, originally, they wanted Wanda Sykes to be the manager. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but she had to drop out at at the last minute. So, and they already had the name tag made up. So,
So who did they get to replace Wanda Sykes?
Donald Faison, or no, I think it was Faison Love.
Okay, Faison Love,
Yes.
and he wore the
Yeah,
like. I did not know his name was his character's name was Wanda.
yeah. Well, it's either that's his name or he was just wearing like a temporary name tag.
I'm gonna go with temporary name tag.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of a guy that's gonna be named Wanda. It's like that Johnny Cash song, "A Boy Named Sue."
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. They originally wanted Wanda Sykes to play the role, but she had to drop out for the at the last minute. But they already had the name tag made up, so when they hired Faison Love, he just wore the name tag that said Wanda on it.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, and at which point we're introduced to Zooey Deschanel,
Yes.
the love interest, and the movie just becomes a whole mishmash smorgasbord, and we got like 9 minutes, so we're gonna have to get going on this one.
Yeah.
So we might as well do some rapid fire.
Yeah.
Favorite scene?
Oh my God, there's a lot.
For me, I would have to say it's the snowball scene where Will Ferrell's just chucking these things like his arms like a full blown pitcher, like nonstop.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch that scene, but also another funny one was, hey, how do we get the star up on top of the tree? On it. Runs, jumps on the couch, bear hugs tree.
Yeah.
Tree falls over.
Yeah, and that scene in particular was actually done by a stunt double.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Because you would not catch me full blown sprint jumping on the couch to bear hug the tree. You would not catch me doing that.
Yeah, I believe Will Ferrell actually had like 3 stunt doubles.
Oh man.
In this movie, he had a fight double, he had a dance double, and he had the double that jumps on the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And
honestly, I enjoy the movie. Did they actually get the Central Park Rangers in the end scene?
I don't know.
Because you know what? I want to look that up. I want to see if the Central Park Rangers is an actual thing. I remember that should be a thing.
Yeah, and they had like several nods to like different like supernatural like stuff, like like Bigfoot, and they have that image of Will Ferrell walking and he looks like Bigfoot.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then, if you notice, with the Central Park Rangers, there are 4 of them in particular. So they're like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Oh, yeah. Okay, are the weird Central Park Rangers real, and what happened at the Simon and Garfunkel concert that the film references? Want to stop Santa Claus? Are they actually real? That's what we want to know. That's why I'm asking the question. They are real.
Oh,
The Central Park Rangers are real.
Okay.
But apparently they're not as feared. So I guess that makes sense because New York City does have a lot of crime.
Yeah.
So you still need people to go through Central Park, but you can't take your car through there.
Well,
so
right.
the best thing you could do is take a horse.
Yeah.
1970, or the Urban Park Rangers. Okay. Have helped New Yorkers and visitors, yada, yada, yada. I guess they're called Urban Park Rangers, not Central Park Rangers.
Yeah. Yeah. We could talk like all day about this movie.
We honestly could. It's such a good movie. Like, I have talked to a number of people. They all love this movie. I personally enjoyed it. My mom actually enjoyed this one too. She's not a fan of Will Ferrell movies just because of other material he's done. But this one, she said, I like this one. This one's actually pretty good. You know, they feel like it's reined in a bit, but he excels in it and makes himself goofy. And that's exactly what we want. Like, because it's basically human thinks he's elf, drops into New York City, boom, shenanigans ensue.
Yes, I would say my really only like criticism is that some of the editing is a bit like
there's been some editing where I'm like it's a little jarring because it seems like it's a little bit weird, a little bit wonky.
Did they really have to include that shot of James Caan looking at his yearbook? Like,
probably just to be like, huh? It's like I guess we did have a kid, but. Honestly, to the grand scheme of things of the movie, it doesn't. I don't. Maybe it humanizes him. It might be that it humanizes him, but largely that shot's like, no, you don't need it sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
if we were to rate this movie on a scale of don't see it to absolutely see it, well, we should develop a system.
Yeah.
Don't see it, probably see it. Definitely see it. Buy it on DVD and see it in theaters. Where would you put this?
Oh,
and let's break the scale a little bit. Classic.
Yeah. I would put this at classic.
It honestly is a classic. It is a Christmas classic that is meant for families and for kids, all ages. You know, from kids from 1 to 92.
Yeah. Now, okay, I do understand this movie may not be for everyone. But really, no movie is. So
really, that's fine. You know, we live in a day and age where you like what you like and you don't like what you don't like.
Yeah.
And I've gotten, the older I get, the more set in my ways I start to get. And I'm perfectly fine with that because I'll be honest, I like being lazy. I like being lazy when I can.
Yeah.
Now, there's still some things I got to do, but if I had my druthers, I would just wake up, go to the gym, go to work, go home. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, so, but
this movie, I would honestly say, even if you're not a fan of Christmas movies, give this one a shot.
Yes.
Now, let's move on to Spirited because I feel like we need to give this movie a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Because you're the one that's going to be talking about this. I haven't seen it. Apparently, it's on Apple TV.
It is on Apple TV. I really enjoyed it.
So why don't we start with a basic plot summary?
Okay, so basically, this it's like how do I describe this?
That's always the hard part.
Yeah. Now, okay, I know a lot of people will probably scoff at the idea of yet another Christmas Carol adaptation.
Oh, is that what this is?
Yes.
Okay.
And I kind of did too at first when I first heard about this. But after actually watching it, I enjoyed the hell out of this movie.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Because it's not your typical Christmas Carol adaptation. They actually do something clever with this.
Really? What do they do?
So basically, this movie's main goal is to essentially just ask one simple question. Can you redeem the unredeemable?
Very interesting.
Yes.
Because I know the notion is that a lot of people say you cannot redeem the unredeemable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's the movie's main goal. And this isn't just another generic adaptation of A Christmas Carol where Ebenezer Scrooge gets visited by 3 ghosts and it changes him.
So basically, Charles Dickens' story.
Yes, it's not that.
Really?
No. This one decides to focus more on the three ghosts rather than
Then on Scrooge?
yes,
Wow.
yeah, which I thought was actually really cool. And basically, they're in this. It's like a. I wouldn't even know how to describe the
Excuse me.
like a I guess like a counseling kind of thing, if you want to call it that. So basically, um, and oh, I will say this: the movie does offer one really clever twist
Yeah.
that I will not spoil.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and I recommend this movie if you like musicals.
Oh, this is a musical movie.
Yes, and it's got an amazing soundtrack.
That is pretty dang cool.
Yeah. Yeah. With one of my favorite songs being it's a song called Good Afternoon. And it's basically when Will Ferrell, who is called Present in the movie, he plays the ghost of Christmas Present, and he takes Ryan Reynolds' character on like a trip that I won't say where, and where Will Ferrell's character comes from, the term "good afternoon" is known as like an insult. So
I was actually talking, believe it or not, there's an aide at a school in a school district that I work at. We were talking about this, and she has actually seen this.
oh really?
Yeah, she saw this. And so, good afternoon. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not going to say what it is because I want to keep this PG-13. But it is so funny that literally when she said it, because she and her kids went and saw this, for the rest of the day, they were just saying, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. And what's funny is that unless you've seen this movie, you're not going to get it.
Yes.
You're not going to get it at all. So if you wanted to tell someone, good afternoon, all they can say is, good afternoon. And you just move on your merry way like nothing happened. Oh, God. I already know what you're talking about. Yeah. I'm busting up laughing.
That was great, though.
Was that a whole song?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Yes. Oh, my God. I'm probably going to make that a new ringtone now. Yeah. And just send it to my brother and probably my parents. Yeah. My mother loves musicals. Like, I remember when she was still up here, I took her to see my favorite opera, which is also her favorite opera, The Marriage of Figaro. 3.5 hours. Let me tell you, by 2.5, I was like, can we go yet? I'm tired. We're all the way out in the sticks at Oberlin College, and I'm like, I want to go home now. I want to go home. But I sucked it up and done with it. But there was one song in there that was just, it was ultimately a joke song. Because Mozart's a funny guy. Like it or not, Mozart is hysterical and hilarious. And he has it so that Figaro is just, he's insulting the Count to his face, but saying it, it's a positive thing. It's a good thing. So this is basically the same thing. You're saying that it's just good afternoon, but it really means something else.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on with this one.
Yes.
Because otherwise, we're going to be just laughing about good afternoon.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so Will Ferrell's character, Present, is tasked with.
Is Will Ferrell present? Or is...
He plays the ghost of Christmas Present.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah. Also, the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come is voiced by Tracy Morgan.
That's another funny guy.
Yeah. He's tasked. Will Ferrell is tasked with trying to redeem Ryan Reynolds' character, who is classified as an unredeemable.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So then it really becomes like a back and forth thing where Clint, who is Ryan Reynolds.
Okay. Ryan Reynolds is known as Clint in this movie.
Yes.
I prefer the name Wade. For any of those that know this, Wade Wilson. Deadpool.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to Clint and Ryan Reynolds.
Yes. It essentially becomes like this exercise of bond and trust for the two of them. It's hard to explain, honestly.
So they're going through this where Will Ferrell is trying to redeem Ryan Reynolds, and along the way they start getting, they start to show similarities with hey, you like this? Me too.
Yeah.
And they start becoming buddies and friends, and they develop a bond of trust.
Yes. And the movie actually has some really good commentaries too on the importance of helping others and being kind.
Yeah. All valuable lessons.
Yes. And also they talk about how we are defined by the choices that we make.
Very true. Very true. We are all defined by all those things. We can be kinder to others. We should show kindness and consideration. We're the culmination of the choices that we make.
Yeah.
It's not the environment.
No.
It's not the people that we surround ourselves with. It's the choices every single one of us makes.
Yeah.
Me, you, us.
Yes.
All the same. So if I decide that I don't want to be a straight A student anymore, I want to flunk out of school, that choice is entirely mine. It's not a good choice, I can tell you that for a fact. I mean, being a straight A student, as I learned from Billy Joel, I couldn't be a straight A student. It's too much. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of reading.
Yeah. And also, because Ryan Reynolds has a niece in the movie who doesn't get a whole lot of screen time. Although I do like the actress. That they got for her.
Nice.
But her character isn't really all that developed.
Well, that stinks.
Yeah. My one issue was that there's a moment in the movie where Octavia Spencer's character.
She's in this?
Yes.
The maid from The Help, right?
Yeah. And I love Octavia Spencer. I think she's great.
She's a really good actress.
Yeah.
I remember that movie, The Help, where she said, "Eat my..." Well,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it, but she's referring to a pie where she's telling this woman, "Eat it, eat my stuff."
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a moment in the movie where Octavia Spencer's character actually like interacts with Will Ferrell's character, and I hope I'm not spoiling too much by saying all this, but
Excuse me. You're not. You're not.
Okay.
This is all just adding to my list where I'm like, okay, so this is a movie I should, by the sounds of it, I should probably see.
yes.
So it's right there at like I should probably see this one, but with a special good afternoon, okay, I should see this.
Yes. Okay. So there's a moment in the movie where Will Ferrell interacts with Octavia Spencer's character, and it's never really explained how or why she can suddenly talk to him, because the thing is that the ghosts are not supposed to like interact with the living. Yes.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah. Unless they're like they like need to be redeemed or something. So yeah, that's really my one thing, is that I wish there was a little bit more of an explanation for that.
Okay. I have not seen the movie, so I can't say anything about this other than the good afternoon thing.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm slipping out of the chair, being like,
Yeah. Also, some people are going to be able to predict the ending. I already know that.
Yeah, it's probably one of those movies where you can predict how it's going to happen, what's going to go down. But I mean, I looked it up a little bit. It does say that it's based off of, Charles Dickens's Christmas Carol. Is it Christmas Carol?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So, it's based off of that story, which, if anyone has seen A Christmas Carol, they know how it's going to work. I mean, Muppets has done it with Alfred,
Yeah.
Michael Caine. Doctor Who has done it like 2, 3, 4 times. They do it every year with Doctor Who, where it's a different one. It's always a different iteration, but it's always comes back to Christmas Carol because it's a classic.
There's been a million adaptations of this.
There's like tons of adaptations. So this one is just another in a long line by the sounds of it. But it decides it's going to make it a musical.
Yes, it actually does something different.
Which we're like, okay, this is the same. Oh, it is not quite the same old stuff we've dealt with. Okay, you got my attention. You got me interested. Oh. So, where would you put Spirited? If you could tell people right now in 2 words, like, avoid it, probably see it, definitely see it, seen it in theaters, buy it on DVD, classic.
I would say at least see it.
Okay, yeah. So at least to go see it. So we can admit, like, see it, that's average for a movie going.
Yes.
Like, it should be something that's like, it'd be fun to watch.
Yeah.
You're probably going to walk out of there like going, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon.
Yeah. And I can see how some people probably will make this a holiday staple for them.
Yeah. I mean, just like people have made Die Hard a Christmas staple.
Yeah.
Because, let's be honest here, folks, and I'm going to put my foot squarely on this, Die Hard is a Christmas movie because it happens during Christmas. Okay? In Christmas, there's a Christmas tree, there's a whole Christmas caboodle.
Yeah. So let's
see. So today's December 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Now there is another Christmas movie coming out that I I personally want to go see.
Oh, Violent Night.
Violent Night. It features David Harbour as Santa Claus, and the movie's done in a style that's like Home Alone and Die Hard put together for Christmas.
Yes. Yeah, my theater is getting that.
Oh, your theater's getting that?
Yes.
Ooh.
I want to see it.
And are you working tomorrow?
I am.
Dang it.
Yes. Although I got called off today, so
Oh, you got called up today?
yeah, there is a chance I could probably get called off tomorrow. I don't know.
Well, if you get called off tomorrow, how's about we go see Violent Night?
Yes.
Because this is a Lionsgate movie. Lionsgate isn't very big, but this one looks like it's going to be fun.
Yeah. However, the movie is rated R.
So, in other words, kiddos, no. Just no. You're not allowed. You come anywhere near that ticket booth and say, I want to see Violent Night. Get out of here, scrawny.
And that's my one concern is that, well, one, IDing for this movie is going to be a pain in the ass. And
Oh, yeah. it will be. But also, that reminds me. How many parents are going to take your kids to see this?
oh my god, that's the other thing.
That's probably going to be like, oh my gosh. I mean, to be fair, let's be honest here. I'll put my own share in this. My first rated R movie, and I know this for a fact because I watched it, was The Patriot. I saw it when I was in 8th grade. 8th grade. So right about that time where I was like, what? Maybe, let's see,
14.
probably 13, 14.
Yeah.
But I watched it at home. I didn't go see it in theaters. I watched it at home.
And how did you like it?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it immensely for its historical aspect, but also for its historical fiction aspect, where it was, basically just focusing on like, hey, this is the American Revolution. It's a little different, but it's largely within the American Revolutionary time.
Back when Mel Gibson wasn't the nutcase.
Yes. Well, he kind of was a nutcase, but just not as pronounced.
Yeah.
And profound.
So yeah, like because the movie's got Santa Claus in it.
Yep. Oh God! Do you have any idea? There are going to be parents that are probably going to take their little kids like, it's got Santa Claus in it. This is not your Santa Claus. This is not the Santa Claus that goes, oh ho ho. This is the kind of Santa Claus that goes, ho 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 ho. Yeah. You might want to start running.
Yeah.
This is Santa Claus deciding, you know what? I'm done with this.
Yeah.
As you said, this is like from Weird Al's song, "The Night Santa Went Crazy."
Yes. I'm gonna be very disappointed if they don't play that song in the movie.
Apparently, speaking of Weird Al, there was also a Weird Al movie starring Daniel Radcliffe.
Yes, and we should talk about that at some point.
We'll probably talk about that in January because it's more of a. Right now, we're focusing on Christmas and the holiday season, and believe me, there's a lot of Christmas. There's a lot of Christmas.
We could probably also do an episode dedicated to like the Rankin Bass specials.
Yeah, but let's not do one to the Star Wars special, for God's sakes. Everyone has learned the lesson from the Star Wars holiday special. Yeah,
and we'll probably do another episode talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
I would like to see it. We got to watch that.
Yes.
All right, but what should we talk about next time? If we go see Violent Night, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
And that one's going to be more rated R. So for anyone that is watching that has little ones, don't have them in the room. I'm keeping this PG because I mentioned it to the one of my bosses, the assistant principal, and so I'm trying to make sure I keep my language clean.
Okay.
But we kept our mouths clean when it came to the elf thing. So I think that's the only one he's going to care about. So like up to the 26-minute mark, we're okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll talk with y'all next time.
Yeah. Well, wait. We need to decide on a topic.
We're gonna talk about Violent Night and Christmas movies.
Yeah.
That's what our plan is for the
Okay.
entire month.
All right.
And hopefully we won't take forever and a day.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you all
All right.
next time.
Thanks for coming to the show. We
like-
hope y'all
yeah.
enjoy.
Like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord.
Yeah, we would love to have you. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the show.
Mhm.
We'll see y'all next time where we
Yes.
talk about more Christmas movies.
Yes. Bye.
All right. Bye bye. Toodaloo.